Chairman Nelson Havi has challenged President Uhuru Kenyatta to resign and saying that the president's BBI appeal case representation likens him to an ordinary Kenyan and not a head of state. Nelson Havi is among 70 other respondents, and the respondents were making their submissions starting today in the appeal case that started Tuesday. Seth Olale has been following this since Tuesday and can now fill us in on the highlights in the morning submissions. Seth?
Well, good afternoon, Mark Masai. Remember that Nelson Havi, as much as he's the president of the Law Society of Kenya, is also representing economist David Ndii, together with 4 other respondents in this particular case. And like you said, he challenged the head of state, to resign from being president, because he is represented in this particular appeal case as an individual. And yesterday you heard from his lawyer Gakone, who actually defended the head of state, saying that he was even not involved in the BBI process. But also Nelson Havi has termed the BBI report as interfering with the judiciary, in that it had proposed for the office of the ombudsman, and Nelson Havi terming it as a prefect of the judiciary, thereby stating that the judiciary, as it is, being an arm of the government, will be under control under the office of the ombudsman. So he actually termed the ombudsman as a prefect in the judiciary. But even other than that, Nelson Havi also said that, the BBI also undermined the basic doctrine structure of the Constitution, and he was also supported by, his colleague, that is Esther Angawa, also representing David Ndii in this particular BBI appeal case. And according to Esther, she said she challenged the IEBC in actually making sure, or rather verifying, that the actual 1 million signatures represent the voter register, registry that is actually document that is being withheld by the IEBC. And so according to Esther Angawa, she said that the IEBC failed actually to prove that actually the signatures that were collected by the BBI secretariat represent the voter registry. She also talked about mass voter registration as a requirement before conducting a referendum. And so that was some of the testimonials from Esther Angawa, who, like I said, is also in the same defense team as Nelson Havi. But right now, the person on stage on the day 3 of the BBI appeal case hearing is Elias Mutuma, representing the Third Way Alliance. And according to Mr. Mutuma, or Counsel Mutuma, is that the BBI actually proposes for a repeal of the Constitution, but not an amendment of the Constitution. And so, according to him, he says that the manner in which it was first of all submitted, even before the BBI Secretariat and later on to Parliament, and right now being actually put as a question in the referendum, it is completely out of order. And so he called upon the 7 judgments to reject actually the appeal from the appellants, who include President Uhuru Kenyatta, ODM leader Raila Odinga, IEBC, as well as Attorney General Paul Kihara. What we know is that apart from the 3 respondents that I mentioned, Esther Angawa, Elias Mutuma, and Nelson Havi, we also have 70 others, but of course they have been consolidated so as to make sure that this particular hearing does not drag too much. Remember that we only have tomorrow to conclude the hearings, and so I'm still camping here at the Supreme Court, or the Court of Appeal, just to get some of these highlights. Elias Mutuma is the 3rd respondent in this particular matter. Remember that all the appellants actually submitted their reservations supporting that, indicating that this particular court should quash the decision, or rather the ruling of the five-bench High Court, the five-judge High Court bench that actually declared BBI process unconstitutional. And so it will be interesting also to hear how the appellants in this particular case are going to respond. That will be on Friday and the final day of the hearing. So this particular session is still ongoing. It started at 9 a.m. and we're just camping here to get to hear some of the testimonials from the respondents who still maintain that the five-judge bench of the High Court was in order to quash the BBI report. Mark.
Setolale, thank you for that. And yes, the LSK president's submission is not the only one. There's still more to expect in the afternoon, and he'll be giving us the highlights of that in the 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock bulletins. But